Hello and welcome everybody back to the League of Ungentlemanly Warfare and the Anno 2070 tutorial series. Yeah, and as you can see, everything is brighter, everything is more colorful, meaning we will focus on the ecos today, and we will start with the eco workers. They generally work like the tycoons, so we have two base needs and of course the production of our first building material and energy. So, I will focus first on the energy production, while the tycoons actually focus on these coal power plants that actually need coal supply. The ecos are a little bit more friendly, as the name suggests, more friendly to the economy. Basically, they build wind parks. Each wind park has a very small production, and they need a certain minimum distance from each other, so that they don't overlap and reduce each other's efficiency. And that is basically all. So, in the early game, you might want to get enough space available by building depots so that you can build a couple of wind parks, because, well, since their energy output is so small, they will limit you quite a lot during expansion. Okay, and as a building module... Oh, come on, Eve. I don't want to talk right now. As building modules, they work quite similar. Eve, what did I just say? They were quite similar to the tycoons again. So we need to produce granules and yeah, refactor them in a smelter into building modules. But the way how they get granules is a little bit different, because instead of just building a borehole into the ground, it actually acts like a farm. So I know two different layouts that are quite good. I will start with the first one. So here we count for 6 tiles. And place 2 of these farm buildings. Then the depot. Or you can just build the depot first. I mean, whoop, that was a bit too much. Because, well, it's just 4 tiles into that direction, 4 tiles into that, and 6 into west and east. So that is actually quite easy. And as with the tycoon layout that I chose to always use, it is 4 farms and 4 smelters. So now of course we need to lay the fields for these 2. For these 4. Yeah. 2. I was saying 2 because, well, there are 2 on top. That actually sounds kinky. So, and now we can just build 4 smelters, and then we have a good base production. Depending on how fast you want to expand, you might want to build several of these layouts. I usually go with 2, but if you build 3, then of course it will let you expand faster in the early game. So that was one layout. The other one is also focusing on 4 smelters. I hope I have enough space here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one starts with building the smelters first. So we build here, smelter 1, smelter 2. Another one here. And another one there, right next. Now we draw a road right between them. And can then just build these here in between. No, and I forgot a piece of road. Now of course we need to place the farms again. So as you can see, the advantage of this layout here is that it is a little bit more long stretched. So when you don't have that much space available as a square. And I, of course, did the wrong orientation. So yeah, if you don't have that much white space available, you can go for this. Then it might work a little bit better than the other layout. But in general, it's more a choice of taste. I personally prefer that one, because it looks a bit more orderly. But yeah, that is how you get building materials with the ecos on T1. So the next one that they need is fish. And that works exactly like with a tycoon. So basically we can build a fishery somewhere along the coast, or even into a water, so that a flying drone can go collect it. And here of course I've built already too much. So, but yeah, it just snips on the coast. And that's already it. And fish can supply quite a lot of people. It can supply up to one fishery running at 100%, can supply up to 250 workers, 365 employees, 570 engineers, and 800 executives. As always, those numbers are estimations. Depending on where you search, you will actually find different results, but they are roughly in the same size, so there isn't too much of a variance. So the next need that the people have for the ecos is tea. Here I also know several layouts. I will first build the big one. And yeah, tea needs a lot of more space than the alcohol production of the tycoons. So first we built here one tea plantation with 4 tiles into each direction available, meaning to the north and to the west, if we use this orientation of the layout. And then we place here with 2 tiles of space each, and here 4 tiles in between them, additional tea plantations. And maybe some of you already guess it, at least if you have watched my tutorial series for Anno 1404. That is actually the same layout I use for the crops production. Because it works here as well. Ah, and here I was too stupid to count. So now we can just place here the fields. And once again, I wish there was a template feature. So now we already have a big ass production for tea. That is definitely enough to supply an entire city. And soon all these will start working. Yay! Now they do, and the machine has come to life. So that is the big version of its layout. I have also a smaller one available. Because, well, that eats a lot of space. So, and for the smaller version, it actually starts quite similar. So first count 4 tiles. And here 5 tiles. Then we build here 3 farms.
Of goods on trading route. Negative.
Form a road around that. And then we can go here again. And have here 6 plantations instead of 8. This layout is also a bit more space efficient. And we can now just place the tea plantation fields, or however they are called. Build a production area. That is one way to avoid names. Ah, Blue Bite. Just took the easy way. So in that way we got super space efficient tea plantations. Ah, tea fields. Okay, they actually wrote down the name. Yeah, and that is actually all you need on the first population class with the ecos. Tea can also support quite a few people. One plantation alone can support 375 workers, meaning that this area here alone can supply roughly 2,000 people. Just saying. And then there comes a little anomaly. It can also supply only 375 employees. So there's actually not an increase in the number, but with the engineers it does, because each plantation can support up to 500 engineers. And also 750 executives. Of course, all these numbers only count when you are working at 100%. I have here 180 due to the positive eco balance, so this area could actually supply a much larger area, a much larger city. Yeah, as I said, that was it with this video. I hope it helps. In the next one, I will focus on the employees, meaning their production on biofood and consumer electronics, stuff like that. Yay, that is always a lot of fun, especially the electronics. And yeah, I hope you liked it. If yes, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, feel free to change that. And also, in the video description, you will also find a link to our Discord server, just in case you want to get in touch with me directly. If you have any feedback or questions, you can also directly write in the comments. And with that, I say goodbye and see you next time in Anno 2070. Bye bye.